Alrighty, so go ahead about the water.
Okay, so water heater operation is going to be that. Do you want to come in here?
Well, I just wanted
It's just right there in the.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on, and then this red button is going to come on, and then once it lights off, it's going to shut off.
Okay.
And so what's going to happen is red light comes on, and then it's going to fire. Red light's going to come off, and then everything's going to be good. If there's air in the lines, if there's a wind that blew it out, if there's a problem with the water heater, this light will come on and tell you that there's a problem with the water heater. I can hear it working right now. But if you run out of propane, if there's like a freak wind that comes in and blows the pilot out when it's reached temperature and it's just burning the pilot, then this red light comes on and tells you, hey, there's a problem with the water heater. So then what happens is you shut it off, and then you turn it back on. And if it's just switching over to the other propane tank, then it's going to be switch over to the other propane tank, then prime everything through the stove again, and then come in here and turn the water heater back on.
So you have to, you have to prime it through the stove?
Each time that you change a propane tank,
yeah,
you are going to run the stove first and take the air out of the system through the stove. You do not want to take the air out of the system through the appliances, which would be the refrigerator, the furnace, and the water heater. You want to take all the air that's coming out, and you want to run it through the stove, because it just makes things a lot easier. Because what happens is if you try to bleed the propane system, like let's say you change a tank and it's like, all right, I changed my tank, and then you go turn this on and then you keep getting a red light. It's like, what the heck? It's like, well, because the board is sensing that there's more air than anything, and it's not lighting, it's not working. And then you wonder why that is. It's because the water heater is telling you that there's too much air in the lines and it's not going to light.
Okay.
So if you light it through the stove, then that's going to alleviate that problem.
If you still, I mean, if you're running off of one tank, and you change the other tank, you still have to. Well, you're gonna have to bleed it anyway.
Well, if you did the switch over, like let's say you got 2 full tanks, which you have right now.
Right.
Let's say you run a tank dry. If you run a tank dry and you switch it over to the other tank, you're gonna be, each time you switch to another tank or take a tank out, you're gonna be doing that.
Okay. All right.
Now, if you're running in the middle and you have both propane tanks and you got the valve in the middle, once both of those tanks get dry and you replace them, you're going to be bleeding it through the stove. There's going to be a lot of bleeding it through the stove.
All right. So the water heater, actually, the water is hot right now.
It takes about 20 minutes.
Oh, but when that light goes out, does that, like when you first turn it on?
When the light goes out, that means that it's doing its job.
Oh, okay, but that doesn't mean it's hot. So is there any indication that it's hot?
No.
Oh.
Other than just you'll just check it by hand.
Oh. Okay.
Like you'll turn the hot water tap on and identify the temp. There's no temp sensor on it.
And then once the water is hot, like let's say if you're camping overnight and the water heater's on, it just stays hot until you're ready to use it.
It programs to a certain temperature and will come off and on constantly.
Okay.
To maintain temperature. And I'm not sure what that temperature is, but let's say the temperature is like 110 degrees. It's going to maintain 110 degrees the entire time that you leave it on.
Can you change that temperature as to what you want it to be?
It's not recommended.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Good. So you just turned it on. It wasn't on before. So the water shouldn't be. It's actually heating up the water right now, though, right?
No, I just shut it off.
Oh, you did. Oh, I see. Okay, up is off. Okay. So the water going into the water heater, like when you fill up the tank, does it just go? Some of it goes into.
It'll feed from either water source. It's gonna, like right now, it's feeding off of this source.
Right.
But if you have a hose plugged into it, it'll feed off of that source.
Okay. So it just automatically goes into it. Okay. Like it's not trying to heat nothing.
No, it's a check valve.
Okay.
Yeah. And it only heats inside the water heater.
Okay. Good.